Talked about human error, and this goes all the way back to driving school. And this is where I come to you, Francis. We have cases of people going to driving schools, paying, and just getting the driving license. Yeah. What do you have to say about this?
I think that should be completely discouraged.
Yeah.
Actually, I think as you go to get that driving license when you are not fully trained, you know you're just buying your casket because it's the one which is going to kill you. You go into that load without knowing what you're doing, without knowing exactly how to drive well. And I think this is why I want to talk about AA. Yeah. Driving school is one of our core business together with the others. But one of the things I want to say is that we are trying to ensure that as our students are being trained, they are not just trained to be drivers, but to know how to coexist with other people on the roads. You know, don't just go into a driving school, get 2 lessons, then get your way into getting a license and get into the load. At least get into the real knowing of what is driving. What are the road signs? What do they say? How can you interpret them? And I'm happy that NTSA is coming up with a new curriculum, which probably all the driving schools will be required to follow. And I think the most important thing is we need to do something about our driving schools, and so that they produce the right students or the right drivers, I mean, who are there.
All right. Let me come back to you, Njeri. What should drivers consider, especially when they're traveling long distance, you know? What should they consider?
Any good driver should plan their journey.
Yeah.
It's high season. Actually, this weekend, the season travel began to peak. And any driver who's intending to undertake long-distance travel, both public and private vehicles, should plan their journey. Plan ahead. Identify the times that are most risky. We know that most crashes occur, most deaths occur during hours of low visibility. Ensure that your vehicle is in good working condition, that your vehicle is roadworthy. If you're taking several people with you, ensure that the vehicle has seat belts. Actually, every vehicle should have seat belts. Belt up. We know that seat belts give a driver 50% chance of survival. Ensure your vehicle is well fueled, all your lights are working. Plan ahead, it might be raining. Identify the route that you'll be taking. What are the hazard spots on that route that you're going to be taking?
All right, Francis, let me just read something for you. Data from the authority, which is NTSA, revealed that 849 people died from accidents involving private vehicles, while commercial vehicles-related deaths stood at 707, compared to 563 deaths associated with matatus plying various roads in the country. Now, you talked about defensive driving. AA, you offer defensive driving lessons. Can you tell us more about this? What exactly happens during these lessons?
Defensive driving, which is one of our initiatives, and probably only with AA of Kenya, is about not training the people who don't know how to drive. It's about the people who are already in our roads.
Yes.
It's actually retraining our drivers. It's actually preparing them to understand what they need to do when they're on the road. From what Jerry said, preparing for a journey. You know, if you're preparing for a journey, what are the things that you need to note about? You need to note about how long is your journey. So how many stops do you need to make on the way so that you are not fatigued? Sleeping well if you are going for a long journey. Make sure that you are fresh, you know, you've slept well. To going into interacting with the road users. How do you interact with the road users? To understanding that you need to plan well in terms of don't leave late, then you have to rush. Plan your speed. How are you going to do that? To going now into the more details of understanding your vehicle, I think it's very important that we understand our vehicles. How do we maintain our vehicles? When a vehicle is on the road and you hear that small sound, what does it tell you? What are you supposed to do? When you go and fight there is traffic on the road, what are you supposed to do? When there is bad weather, how are you supposed to treat that? You know, and it's so critical in terms of what we take you through stage by stage. If there's bad weather, drive slowly, keep your distance, put your dim light on, you know, and make sure that you understand the sequence of how those things should happen. In case of, say, an accident, how do you handle that? How do you, if you find an accident on the road, how do you handle that? How do you support
How
the
do you
people on
handle that? If you can tell us, how do you handle that?
Yeah, and it's the simple things that you can do on the road. Like, for example, if you are the one who is involved in an accident, or in a car which is involved in an accident, and after that accident, check yourself. Are you hurt? Try move your lips and see how you're feeling. If you feel you're okay, can you be able to check on the others? Are they hurt? And in terms of, it's just talking to them, first of all, talk to somebody, get to hear how they talk, just ask them, are you okay? Then they'll tell you yes or no. If they can't talk, then you know there's a problem. Check, are they breathing? Is there something that is blocking their breathing? Yeah. And without touching them initially, without like moving them, because you could move them and cause more harm. If, for example, it was like a motorcyclist, and probably he's with his helmet, just check that he's in the right posture, but don't remove the helmet. The simple things that you can do. If you find everything is okay, then start to think about how do you secure that area. Like, for example, putting a warning sign, the triangle sign, to show people that there's an accident. Call for help, call for an ambulance. Manage the mob. Sometimes you have people who are coming to the accident scene, and they become a mob, and sometimes they can cause more damage than probably there is already. So it's about managing that side and ensuring that as the people who are coming to help comes, you're able to give at least information that will help them to save the casualties. To the extent of understanding that sometimes people could be having like a spinal injury, and if you move them in the long way, you could make that even be